So going into the trading session, the first thing I like to do is I like to mark up my previous day's range because we need a higher time frame narrative. So as you can see here, I got price over here on the daily and I got the 4 hour here. So we can see here that price had opened up for the day during Asia session and then price was accumulating. And then you can see here the 6 o'clock candle that came down and swept out the previous day's lows, as we can see over here. So we got these previous day's lows getting swept out. So that tells me that price was accumulating and then we got some type of manipulation here. And now that we got this manipulation, we can start looking for a candle 2 setup. So here we got price coming down, sweeping this previous candle's range and then closing back inside this range from this low to high. And we can already see here that we got relatively equal highs here. So we know that price can easily come sweep these highs just because we already took sell side liquidity. And we also have this 4 hour fair value gap here aligned with this monthly open. So everything right now is telling me that price wants to be bullish. So now that I can see this candle 2 closure here, I want to go down to my lower time frame and just see how price starts to develop. So going down to this lower time frame, we can see that price had, after taking this liquidity down here on the downside, we can see that price had created an inversion fair value gap here. Price had disrespected this inversion fair value gap around 9:30 after price opened up, came down, came up, boom, took these highs, closed back inside the range. But what's most important is that we had broke downside structure. So price was going down, we came up, price had gave us an inversion fair value gap, and now we can start looking for a trade. So going down to my lower time frame. So I want you guys to understand that I always trade during a macro time, and that macro time is going to be your last 15 minutes and first 15 minutes. Of a hour, right? So a macro time is the first and the last 15 minutes of an hour. So here we can see that price had displaced higher, gave us a fair value gap prior to the 10 o'clock open. So as we can see here, we got a fair value gap. And I actually entered into this market right after we created this swing low here, coming inside this fair value gap during this macro time at 9:45. Once we had broke higher here, around 9:50, I had entered the market and I put my stop loss right at this swing low because now we have price showing us that we want to go higher, and then we created a protected low at the low here. So with that being said, we want to look for where we can target at. And as you can see here, we have a 1 to 2 here, but we also have this fair value gap and the monthly open up here. So when we go back to the 15-minute time frame, we can see that price has swept these lows. This is the original consolidation that created the low. Now we want to see price close back inside the range, and we want to target the highs of this range here. So now we're starting to see that this CRT setup with this candle 2 closure is starting to play out well. So I want you guys to see it from the 4 hour standpoint. So we can see here that we got that candle 2 closure, and then we got the 2 o'clock highs right here. So now we want to watch and see how the 10 o'clock open creates his low and then starts to trade to the upside. So I want you guys to understand as well that every candle has an accumulation, manipulation, and distribution phase, which we call power of 3. So you always want to mark out your open, and you want to see how price develop its wick and then break to the upside or to the downside, depending on your bias. So we can see here at 10 o'clock, price opened up, came down. Notice that we got these down close candles being respected. We have a swing low right here. Price is just showing us that price is clearly wanting to go to the upside and take out buy side liquidity. We already took out sell side liquidity. Now it's time to go back inside the range to the highs and take out buy side liquidity. Also, the reason why we want to see price come back inside this range is because we already took out the previous day's lows. So now it is evident that price wants to come back inside this range here and come at least to about 50% of the previous candle's range. Now, if price would have opened and went up here during Asia session first, but then we'll obviously be looking for sells to the downside because price opened up, accumulated, manipulated, and then price showing us that it wants to continue down lower. But in this situation, price obviously opened up, took out the lows first, and now we want to go back inside to internal liquidity after taking out external liquidity. So we can see here, this 4 hour candle opened up, came down, go back to the 15-minute. We want to see how this wick is formed, creates his wick, and now we want to just see price continue breaking higher. Also, notice how price had created a change in state of delivery right here on the 15 minute. So if you know that the 4 hour time frame is aligned with the 15-minute time frame. Obviously, you want to see all time frames together, but when you're trading a CRT model, you actually want to see price on the 4 hour create the candle 2, and then a change in state of delivery on the 15-minute time frame. So now we're just going to let price play out, and we want to see how price delivers to the upside. And as we can see here, price had hit our take profit. So this is how I trade every single day in the market. I'm just simply looking for a higher time frame narrative. As we said earlier, that price had opened up and took out the previous day's low, and we were sitting in a discount of the previous day's range. And it's just as simple as once price showed me that we took sell side liquidity, and then on a lower time frame, we get a candle 2 closer to the upside. It's just showing me that price wants to go back inside the previous day's range. As we can see, price had did that with this candle 3. So now that I got this candle 2 closer, I'm just waiting for this candle 3 to open up, give me its wick, close back inside the range, and now I can look for a buy setup within this candle 3 to go back to the upside. Now, if you a little more advanced like me, I've been trading this for a while. I actually caught my setup within this candle here, which was the candle 2 range. As I said before, I entered during that macro time, which was 9:50. That was still that 6 a.m. 4-hour candle, but I knew that my stop loss was safe where it was at. We already opened up at midnight, created the low of the day, closed back inside the range. We were sitting above midnight, and I knew I was safe at that point. I just wanted to see price deliver to the upside within this distribution candle. So it's just as simple as that, guys. You just always want to make sure that you're waiting for price to take liquidity out. You want to see price hit that manipulation and then trade that candle 3 distribution phase. So that's all I got for this trade breakdown for you guys. If you guys have any questions, if you want me to break down CRT in an individual video from top to bottom, just comment down below and let me know. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys for watching. It's your boy AP Reese 2 times. By the way, if you're not already in the free Discord, the link's in the description. Where we building a community over there, and I'd love to have you guys join. So go ahead and click that link at the bottom, and let's get to it.